Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the Economic and Development Planning Committee to order. First thing on the agenda is discussion. Do any of the members have anything to discuss pertaining to this committee? Hearing none, we'll move right on to the resolutions. First resolution is a resolution amending the 2024 operating budget farmland protection, economic development planning. Any sponsor? Dan, Martin, discussion. Hearing none, all is in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Okay, we'll move that on to the full board. Next resolution is a resolution appointing member to the Montgomery County Industrial Development Agency and Capital Resource Corporation. Need a sponsor?
I'll sponsor.
I'll second.
You get that? Discussion? Hearing none, all is in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Move that on to the full board. Next resolution is a resolution authorizing the assignment of purchase and sale agreement of Exit 29 redevelopment project. I'll sponsor. Need a second.
I'll second.
Got it?
Yeah.
Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move that on. Next resolution is a resolution supporting application to Environmental Protection Agency for Brownfield Assessment Coalition Grant. Need a sponsor? Legislator Kelly,
I'll second.
Legislator Kowalczyk. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Move that on to the full board. Next resolution recommending approval of amendment to revolving loan for Lee Newspaper, Lee Village Properties, Lee Shops at Wagner Square. Need a sponsor? Herbie, second? Martin? Discussion? Ken, any backstory on this?
Yeah, Chair, they had approached us, obviously, there was a death in the family, and she settled in the estate, so there's some extra money that she came into. So this actually got given, providing $100,000 for that estate to the revolving loan, but it actually reduces their monthly obligation to the company, so it benefits them.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move it on to full board. Next resolution, a resolution authorizing application for I Love New York Tourism Promotion Matching Grant Funds. I need a sponsor. Legislator Kelly, Legislator Wilson. Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Also move that on to the full board. Anything under other? Motion to adjourn? Oh, no, it's, the add-on is for education government. Motion to adjourn? Maria?
Second.
Martin?
No?
Yep.
Okay. We'll call the Personnel Committee to order. Any discussion from the floor? Hearing none. First resolution, a resolution authorizing the county executive to sign an agreement with Niagara Life and Health Insurance Company for stop loss. Have a sponsor? Chad and Maria? Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Next resolution authorizing the retirement days credited monthly for part-time and full-time elected officials and appointed officials and rescinding resolution 171 of 2024. A sponsor?
Sponsor.
Sponsor Dan? Brian? Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Anything in there? Other? Hearing none, have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Art and Maria.
If you call the Public Safety Committee to order at 5:34, any discussion? No. First resolution, authorizing the county executive to sign an agreement with Prime Care Medical of New York. Any discussion?
I'll sponsor.
Oh, sorry.
I'll second.
Legislator Sweet, Headwell, and any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move to the full board. Second resolution is Resolution authorizing the county executive to sign an agreement accepting the 2023 Domestic Terrorism Prevention Grant Program grant funds and amending the 2024-2025 operating budget. Who's sponsor?
I'll sponsor.
I'll
Head
second.
and Kowalczyk. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Moves to the full board. Resolution amending the 2024 operating budget by the sheriff. Need sponsor?
Yeah.
Herb and Wilson. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Moves to the full board. Resolution authorizing the county executive to sign an agreement accepting the 2024 State Homeland Security Program grant funds and amending the 2024 operating budget. Need sponsor?
I'll sponsor.
Maria? And Herb? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Moves, opposed, abstained, moves to the full board. And the final resolution awarding contracts for rehabilitation of 6 Park Street project for the Public Defender's Office. The sponsors?
I'll sponsor.
Headwell and
I'll second.
Kowalczyk. Any discussion?
Yeah, are we gonna, I'm assuming eventually, before next month, or next meeting, we're gonna have the,
The numbers,
are they back yet?
not back.
Thank you.
I think they're being actually opened up this afternoon.
Any further discussion? No. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, moves to the full board. Anything under other? Make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
Legislator Kelly, Kowalczyk.
All right, I'd like to call to order the Health and Human Services Committee. It is 5:37. First on the agenda is discussion. Hearing none, we'll move to our first resolution of the night, and that is a resolution authorizing the county executive to sign an addendum to laboratory services agreement with Laboratory Corporation of America Holdings Social Services. Sponsored Legislator Wilson and Legislator Majewski. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That will move on to next week. Next is a resolution authorizing the county executive to sign contracts for home run and turnabout prevention programs for social services. Need a sponsor?
I'll sponsor.
Chairman Sweet and Legislator Headwell. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Right, next is a resolution amending the 2024 operating budget for mental health. We need a sponsor. Legislator Majewski and Legislator Kelly. I was gonna say Martin.
No, you were.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Abstentions? That will move on to next week. Next is a resolution authorizing the county executive to sign contract addendums for provisions of services for substance abuse services for mental health. Sponsor, Legislator Allen and Legislator Kelly. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That will pass on to next week. Anything under other? Hearing that, I need a motion to adjourn. Legislator Kelly and Legislator Matewski.
Call the Physical Services Committee to order. Floor is open for discussion. Being there is none, I'll go right to discussion with item 1. Item 2, resolution approving the sale of surplus equipment, Public Works. I'll sponsor it. I'm looking for a second. Chairman Sweet. All those in favor of moving to the full board, say aye.
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 Opposed, abstained, so moved. Next resolution, number 3 on our agenda there. Resolution authorizing the county executive to sign engineering service agreement for CR County Route 108 breakers, the Hill Culvert replacement. PIN number 27554-Public Works. I have a sponsor. Legislator Kelly.
I'll second.
Legislator Headwell. Discussion? All those in favor of move to full board, say aye.
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 Opposed? So moved. Item number 4, resolution authorizing the county exec to sign an engineering service agreement for the 48 Wagner Hollow Bridge replacement. What? Okay. Maria and, okay. All those in favor move to the full board, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Item number 5, resolution authorizing the county exec to sign an engineering service agreement for County Route 2 Cranes Hollow Bridge replacement, 3310280, Public Works. Do I have a sponsor for that? Chad? What's that, Kelly? Discussion? All those in favor of moving to full board, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Anything under other? Any discussion? Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay.
All right, I'd like to call the Order of Education Government Committee to order at 5:41. First thing on this, the agenda discussion. Anyone have anything to discuss pertaining to this committee? Hearing none, we'll move on to the resolutions. First resolution is an introductory law, Local C, Local Law 3 of 2024, a local law requiring avoidance or adequate mitigation of cumulative impacts of industrial solar arrays. I need a sponsor. Wilson, second.
I'll second.
Chad, discussion. You look like you have discussion. No? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move that to the full board. Next resolution is a resolution granting $35,000 of American Rescue Plan funds to the Music on the Mohawk Summer Concert Series. I'll sponsor. Need a second?
I'll second.
Legislator Kelly, discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move that to the full board. Next resolution is a resolution granting $4,000 of American Rescue Plan funds to the Grow Amsterdam, New York, Inc. I need a sponsor.
I'll sponsor.
Legislator Qualchick and Legislator Kelly, discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move that to the full board. Next resolution is a resolution adopting revised Freedom of Information Law Policy and rescinding Resolution 38 of 2018. I need a sponsor. Legislator Kelly, Legislator Wilson, discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move that to the full board. Next resolution is a resolution rescheduling December meetings of the Montgomery County Legislature. I'll sponsor. I need a second.
I'll second.
Legislator Hedwell, Jr., discussion. Everyone good with those dates? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained?
Did you vote nay?
I did.
Thank you.
I want to see everybody on Christmas Eve.
Even me?
Yes, you can.
All right, next resolution is a resolution amending the Resolution 212 of 2024. I'll sponsor. Need a second? Legislator Kelly, discussion. Greg, you have anything to add? Pretty basic?
Pretty basic.
Okay. Hearing no discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move that to the full board. Next resolution is a resolution adopting introductory law Local D, Local Law 4 of 2024, or Local Law amending Local Law 3 of 2022. I need a sponsor. Legislator Wilson, Legislator Qualchick, discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move that to the full board. Next resolution is a resolution authorizing an increase in solid waste tipping fees at the county transfer stations. I need a sponsor. Legislator Kelly, Legislator Majewski. Discussion. Legislator Kelly.
Will this make us break even? Yes.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move that on to the full board. Next resolution is a resolution authorizing Montgomery County Executive to sign contracts for operation and waste transport services associated with the Montgomery County Transfer Stations. That doesn't sound right, but I need a sponsor.
I'll sponsor.
Legislator Hedwell Jr., second. Legislator Qualtrics, discussion. Mark?
With this increase, will it still make us balance? Yes.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Move that to the full board. Next resolution is a resolution granting $10,000 of American Rescue Plan funds to the Village of Fultonville. I need a sponsor.
I'll sponsor.
Legislator Hedwell Jr. and Legislator Wilson, discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, abstained? Anything under other?
You have it.
Gotta add.
Oh, sorry, I knew that. The add-on resolution is a resolution granting $8,000 of American Rescue Plan funds to the Fulton Montgomery Security Literacy Program. I'll sponsor. Need a second. Legislator Kelly, discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain. I abstain.
Okay, move that to the full board. Anything under other? Else? Motion to adjourn. Kelly, Kelly Kowalczyk.
Call the Budget and Finance Committee to order. Is there any discussion? And we'll move right along. First is a resolution authorizing county executive to sign building use agreement, office space ACS Land Research Group. Sponsor?
I'll sponsor.
Legislator Majewski, seconded by Legislator Kowalczyk. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, carried. Next is resolution approving abstract of audited claims. It will be attached to the meeting. Sponsored by Legislator Wilson, second by Chairman Sweet. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, carried. Next is a resolution authorizing county executive to sign contract for solid waste disposal with Seneca Meadows. Is there a sponsor?
I'll sponsor it.
Second by Legislator Majewski. Discussion. We'll still be, okay. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, carried. So are we ending the committee and then doing budget workshop? Thank you for a motion to adjourn, Legislator Kowalczyk, second by Legislator Majewski. All right, so, does anybody need to go to the bathroom before we run?
Mike's not here.
Huh?
Mike's not here.
So first up is weights and measures. So do you want to just give us an overview? Do you have anything you want to bring to the attention of the legislature? You can have a seat if you like, all right? No? Does anybody have any questions? You want to introduce yourself, Rick?
Greg Boris, Director of Weights and Measures.
Does anybody have any questions for Rick?
Nice to see you, Ray.
For now, speak up, or Greg will hold your peace. All right,
That was anticlimactic.
there you go. See? Aren't you glad you came?
Well, this budget is so huge that it's congested.
All right, next up, County Clerk.
Where do you want me?
Or you can stand.
It's like the Judiciary Committee.
Testifying.
I tabbed her. 7.
Okay, so I'm sure you've all reviewed my budget, but just a quick overview. We're seeing an overall reduction in appropriations for the second year in a row. This time it's $1,396. The budget as a whole, including labor and salaries, is an increase of $819, which is 0.1% increase over last year's budget. Do you all have any questions?
Hearing none? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, History and Archives. I want a ghost story.
What one do you want?
34.
This is
All
from
sorts.
Montgomery.
Is this, I don't know about this building, but I can tell you about the old courthouse. The ghost of budgets past.
No.
We are,
Silly me.
we are going in order of the
Okay.
All right, floor's yours.
Okay, so, as you know, the Department of History and Archives has 3 functions. We are a local history and genealogy research library and archives. We have the function of myself, county historian, and then we also have the records management function where we retain the departments who send their records to us for storage, for the period of retention until they're obsolete. And then we take care of the shredding that needs to be done. Basically, looking at my budget, there's minor increases in some of the line items. Probably the largest increase would be in special supplies, and that's because we have the America 250th Commission, where we are going to be commemorating the Revolutionary War for the period of 2025 through 2033. Starting next year, we're going to have our big event, which is our kickoff event, the Liberty Pole Raising Reenactment. So that increase will take care of costuming for our actors, maybe bus tours, marketing materials. Let's see, we're going to have retractable banners that we'd like to give out to each of the 18 historical sites, museums, libraries, advertising for the America 250th. And we want to have, at the Liberty Pole Raising Reenactment, a local musical group that will be doing a performance presentation, so there's going to be a cost for that. We'd like to have a Rev War exhibit, so there might be a transportation cost for that. So that's what would account for that increase in that line item. Other than that, it's pretty well straightforward.
Any questions for Kelly? Thank you.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you. Oh, and
You're done.
one more thing. This year is the 90th anniversary of the department's creation. It was
Oh.
created in the middle of the Depression. So next week on Wednesday, we're having an open house. So if you'd like to join us, and then I can share some ghost stories.
Oh.
Thank you.
Chad, 6.
Thank you, Maria.
I'm sorry. I'm taking care of that away from now on.
How to get there up in and out quick?
I'm a little OCD.
How's everybody?
Fantastic.
You ready? Okay, so our, we have many functions in real property. We have maintenance of all the tax maps, special district lines. We assist the assessors, and assist the assessors, and assist the assessors. We run all the assessment rolls. We run the, all the tax rolls, town and county tax rolls, some school and some village. We are responsible for all the assessor training, Board of Assessment Review training, and of course, correction of errors to the tax bills. And we have 3 people. We have me, a tax mapper, and a RPS person. And my budget is pretty much the same. If there's any increases or little, they're for maintenance agreements that went up. There's a big decrease because last year you all gave me the money for converting our tax maps to a new program, and that's complete, well, it will be completed this year, so that's dropped. So I saved $26,000 this year off my budget. And like I said, any other increases, I did deduct where I could, you know, a few line items down, and any other ones are just ones that are foreseen as maintenance agreements that are gonna increase.
Any questions? Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Make sure you send out those emails.
Huh?
Make sure you send out those emails.
46.
Purchasing.
I'll share the paper.
I'll be prepared.
Just stand by super quick. I'm Jackie, so I'm a purchasing agent. I don't think I've met for advertising for RFPs and random supplies.
Any questions?
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Point forward.
Thank you.
You're going last.
27.
Already switched this up.
Wait,
He's out of order. Like, I don't know what's going on here tonight.
Social services is number 6.
yeah.
Questions? All right, let's see you guys later.
Oh,
You're holding.
26.
It's not a big surprise. I know that.
That's okay.
There you go, sir.
Thank you, kind sir.
Here, I'll move, you can go.
Here,
That's all right, you got all your stuff.
I have an extra seat. Nope. I share.
So I'll walk you through quick. It's obviously our mission statement. The next one is, it's just DSS in a picture. So it kind of just gives you a description of everything that happens at DSS. So really it's a lot of our finance team, our services, admin teams, and then our organizational staff and organizational team. The next one is just some statistics I thought you guys might like. We focused on just our eligibility and our services part for this one. This just gives you an idea how much work goes on. We're averaging about 30 to 40 people coming through Benner on a daily basis. So, you know, it's a busy operation right now. The new location has really strengthened the people who come in to the building to get services. So that's been pretty unique. I don't think we were getting as many people here in Fonda as what we're getting in Amsterdam. So this just gives you a really quick snapshot of what's done at DSS. You know, again, really when it comes to eligibility, you can see how many applications we process, ones that are new, our research that are done on services. This just gives you an average of how many cases. So we have about 360 open cases, approximately 30 per caseworker, which is over what the state wants us to be at. And again, we're doing a great job with recruitment. Retention's still a little tough for us, but the help program has been a tremendous success for us, especially in that category with caseworkers, being able to get caseworkers in.
What does the state want you at?
The state wants us down around 10 to 15. So if we were fully staffed, we'd be there. Us getting to fully staffed may be difficult. So that's, you know, I know we'll get into that in the personnel line items too when we get there. But really, it's the eligibility piece. I think, you know, a lot of times we focus on what the services are done. This really gives you a big idea of how much work comes through for our TA, our SNAP, Medicaid. This just gives you a real good overview of everything that's done at the department. The next one, this is the budget. So Jim Longwell's here, he's our new director of finance. Jim did a great job along with Stephanie Waffle in our office of really preparing the budget. Hopefully you guys everyone was pleased when they saw the budget. There wasn't a massive increase. We tried to really control spending this year. So that's a real credit to Jim and Swaff in our office. They just did an amazing job preparing the budget. You can really see our controllable expenditures and then our non-controllable expenditures. It really gives you a quick synopsis of what really we can move and can't move. Again, Medicaid, you'll see, is a massive number that fluctuates every year. That is something we have no control over. Any questions about any of those? And I mean, we can take them later if you want to keep going through. So then is the 2025 budget process. Really, we start with talking about 2024. It's not over yet. We still got a lot to do. We're maintaining business as usual, the claim for Fed and state reimbursements. And then really what we did to prepare for the 2025. Again, Jim did a great job of really adhering to the 3% increase for the entire DSS budget. We tried to, you can see some places where it increased, other places where it decreased by that 3%, but we really tried to stay tight. The county exec asked us to do 3%, we tried to hit that number, and I think we came in
Yep.
a little bit lower than that 3%.
We did. Just one thing I want to throw in, Matt, if that's
Sure.
okay. Just when you spend more money in social services, as you folks probably well know, you get reimbursed from state and federal to the tune of about 40-some percent I think it's 44% Fed is the average, and state about 26%. So that's also another reason why we're able to control our budgets, because when we increase expense, we also increase revenue from those programs.
Perfect. The next one is just a quick side on 2024, our personnel-related items. Again, I give Steph in our office a ton of credit for doing this. You'll see we put in 3 new titles. One of those is accounting supervisor. What we're realizing is the accounting really needs some extra additional sites. Jim's been doing reconciliations on accounts that go back to 2019.
2018, yeah.
2018, 2019. It's consumed months and months of his time, so really getting some support into the accounting will help us to try to make sure that we're maximizing our revenues and expenditures to the best of our abilities.
Yeah.
A full-time investigative coordinator, we have a part-time one right now. She is due to retire. The position requires more than a part-time position. If you remember last year, we cut 2 part-time fraud investigators to do 1 full-time one that we eventually ended up having to make a traineeship for. So we saved a little bit of money this year from the traineeship. And now we're asking to get that full-time investigative coordinator back. Again, this saves money in the long run. The more, if we can investigate fraud, we get people off of, abusing our benefits, it saves the county money in the long run. And then a senior account clerk typist, this is for our child support unit.
Yep.
The eliminated titles, what we're really trying to do is take a look at those account clerk typist positions and the clerk typist. To be real frank, the clerk typist positions we struggle to fill. If you look at the budget, they've been probably zeroed out for a long time. If we get someone, they typically don't stay very long. So we decided that, we're doing the work without them, so we might as well eliminate them from the budget and move forward. I know the message has been clear from the legislature that if we needed something in the future, that we could come back before the board. So we've taken that advice and we're gonna look at eliminating those. A social welfare examiner position that had been vacant. A welfare employment representative, we have 3 right now. We feel that that is fully staffed. We also have the potential for some grant money. We may be coming back to you in the next 2, one of the next 2 meetings to talk about getting someone to help with housing, a housing coordinator. So, some cost savings there and grant money that would, actually it's an allocation, it's not even grant money, it's allocation that would help pay for that position. And then the investigator coordinator part-time. We will eliminate that to get that into the full-time position. And then you can see the percentages, what we did in 2024. And again, we always want to point out that the fringe is not part of the equation here. Actually, that goes through personnel, as you guys all know. Then next, I know there was some conversation, so we figured we might as well throw this out there on the fleet. This is what DSS has as far as the fleet. This gives you the mileage. This gives you the year, the make, the model. As you can tell, we're really starting to get into the SUVs or the caravans more. The cars just aren't really good for us. They're good to go back and forth maybe to court. But otherwise, the winters, everything else that we have, some of the roads that we still travel on, really it's always better to get the SUVs or the caravan. We do a lot of transporting, a lot of when we do our emergency removals, we need that space in vehicles. So you'll see what our long-term plan is to replace year 1, replace year 2, and replace year 3. This is something that we talked about, is really creating a policy at some point in DSS to really say if the make or the year is over 10 years or if we're over $120-some thousand, that's what we'll seek to get a new vehicle, so that way we're trying not to come every year. Again, this is absolutely what we need. At first, I wasn't quite sure if we needed the entire fleet. There has been numerous times since we've been down at Venner that all fleet has been out. We were able to secure 2 cars this year with the help of ARPA funding. Jim and Cynthia and his team did a great job of getting us some additional ARPA funds so that we were able to pay for 1 car out of that. And again, we're requesting another one this year. Mr. Headwell, we gave you a lot of information there at the bottom, so that if you have any questions, you can fire away. Perfect. Then we did a list of the contracts. I know this has been something that everybody's been asking of, how many contracts, the dollar amount, the timing. Again, I can't take credit for a lot of this. This is Steph Waffle in our office, does all of our contracts. She helps manage the fleet. She does our personnel, so the majority of what you see in front of you, she has done and done an amazing job on. So this really outlays, obviously you guys just did Turnabout and Home Run earlier in committee to pass it forward, but this gives you a whole idea of everything that we have in regards to our contracts and the dollar amounts. So I did hand this out earlier because the math won't work up when you see some of our allocations. It's not going to meet dollar for dollar. One of the main reasons for that is that we do keep some money in the contract line so that we can go based on needs of the department. If you remember last year, one of the contracts that we did for about $195,000 was the Bonadillo contract. Bonadillo saved us $360,000 by de-linking some things in foster care. So not only did we pay for the contract out of the cost savings, we also got an additional revenue back from the county by entering into that contract. So you won't see those add up dollar for dollar, our contracts, to a line item. And that's the main reason, is that we leave that a little bit there so that we can really address the needs of the department and maximize, again, what you guys hope that we do for our funding. The last one is just, we're throwing it on the table. Here's really where probably some of the key questions are. Bob, I'll jump to you. We are asking for another printer. One of the main reasons is we need one here for Fonda. The other idea is that will be the one that will be used for phase 2 when we get down to Venner. So you did a great job of, really recommending and helping us to count how many we really needed in the new building, so we were able to reduce some last year. I didn't want to sneak this through and not acknowledge that, really what it's for is still the space we're utilizing here at Broadway. And then we will bring it down for phase 2 when our accounting department and our adult protective and our other teams come down for phase 2. That'll be used for the second part of our phase, not in Sarah's in public health and mental health, but specifically for DSS. And the other is office furniture, office equipment, and computer equipment. Again, with the new building, we have aging infrastructure when it comes to furniture itself. We've begged, borrowed, and stolen for chairs to fill our training room, our conference rooms. So again, this is a modest request to try to, slowly upgrade all of the things that we have with office furniture and computer equipment. Our goal is to have a computer on every single desk. So that way, if we get new employees, we're not having to order, we're not backlogged. There'll be, actual equipment on every desk. It also helps us that if we have staff here in Broadway that need to come to Venner, they'll have work locations as well. That's kind of the overview I had for you for the budget. Were there any specific questions anyone had?
Medical director part-time, position.
The medical director is part-time. It's a requirement by the state.
But that's new also?
Yeah, that was new as of last year. It was something that we didn't have. We were getting, hit on this on an audit on an annual basis.
I thought we had, because in the budget, it doesn't show up that any money was spent on it last year, but I thought it was.
It was. I can check on that one to see how it has.
Because it looks like it's a new employee, because if you look at it, it looks like it's a new hire.
Yeah.
In the budget, because it doesn't show anything for.
Because that's what was adopted, now that's in there. Any other questions? In your reconciliations, have you found, money monies that'll be reimbursed back to us that we lost out on the first time around?
We've found a number of things so far. The rep payee account is actually the account that hasn't been reconciled since 2018, which is where we basically receive funds from Social Security for elderly people and pay their expenses. We found, again, a number of issues in there. At the moment, I think it looks like we have, if I'm not mistaken, 20,000 too much, which actually means, in theory, we haven't deposited the correct amounts into the individual's accounts. We have another reconciliation on, that I almost would like to put in an errors and omissions line here, because we found in the T56, which is a kind of a holding account for us, we actually have completed that rec more or less, and we're down 4,000, meaning there's 4,000 that's unaccounted for back to 2018, so it's very difficult to find. So we are still reconciling, trying to find that, but in theory, I would say we're gonna have to write off about $4,000 if it doesn't change. The T51 is another one of these accounts that hasn't been used in 2 or 3 years. It has a $20,000 balance in it. We literally just started that, but there hasn't really been an emphasis on reconciliations in an accounting department. You have to do reconciliations or you can't fix the errors that you're making. And then 6 years later, it's very hard to go back and recoup money. So there's definitely, I would imagine the reconciliations are gonna be a story for a later meeting here where we have to put some funds, but it shouldn't be huge amounts of funds. I don't know if that answered your question.
And you're submitting your monthly reimbursements and reconciling them in a timely fashion?
Absolutely. Sadea Bradley's doing an excellent job. She gets the claims in, and then I've now started processing all of the settlements. So as you probably are aware, Bonadillo came in and we had to make some adjustments to 2022. They're actually doing the same right now for 2023. 2024 is fully up to date, but I've completed it myself. And so from January 1st of 2024 to present, we're in a real good place. But the problem is that we have to finish reconciling those balances from 23 and 22, which is still with Bonadillo.
And are you finding that when you're sending in claims that they're coming back accurately when you're getting?
Yes. Yeah, we've had the state.
You're not over requesting and coming back with a much lower number?
No, the state was actually here teaching us a little bit on how to do some of this, and they were actually very complimentary of Zendaya's, how she's handling the claims. So I got a reasonably good feeling. Doesn't mean it's perfect, but we will get better, but it's pretty good from what I'm seeing.
Well, I think in my time here, this department has had its ups and downs, and it's currently on an upswing, so good job, guys.
Well, thank you. Stop by any time. We're conversing on a wide variety of subjects.
Any other questions?
Okay. Very good.
Thank you.
Thanks.
No problem. Enjoy. Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Maria, what page
11.
Thank you.
Floor is yours.
All right, so I don't have the kind of time during the day to prepare a big statement like Mr. Beck did, but basically, general fund, the only increases that you see along the way in there is all contractual. Employee raises, which were done as part of the salary study. Other things were eliminated this year upon discussions with Bob to help him out. Technical equipment was reduced this year. Did a little adjustments on gas, diesel, lighting, which we'll do our best to come within those numbers. We don't know what National Grid is gonna do. We do have new facilities. We are gonna be putting another building back online, provided the bids come out where we're hoping for, with the old DPW building. Highway Department, I put in my normal request. Bob and I settled at a number which was even greater than was last year. Asphalt is always up, it never comes down. We wiped out our office furniture, equipment lines, everything's new there, so there's nothing that we need for any of our offices. Again, my building falls under the DM line. I did put in this year I'm not creating a position this year. I am realigning some employees that I have working in the department. I'm looking at retitling one individual who is a 44-year heavy highway construction foreman. I'm moving him to a different title to keep him on the highways and play to his strengths with all of our CHIPS programs and putting together a 10-year road program for Montgomery County DPW. I am in the process of looking at possibly moving another individual around in the office and not filling his current position until 2026, which would not mean any new hires for this coming year, and the salary reallocament that I'm doing under highways is 100% reimbursable through CHIPS. So under my salary for that position, you would see the savings there. That money would be sent back to the county when we apply for our reimbursement. Yes?
So then would we, in theory, have less money for paving, or the CHIPS funds will pay what they are paying, whatever the formula is, plus his salary?
So based on what we get every year, we put $300,000 a year in labor aside, right off the bat. And the rest goes toward, because we pay all of our overtime through the department, for all highway department, through CHIPS, because it's reimbursable. We use our hourly employee line, which is budgeted for the regular pay. So the money we're going to use for labor will stay at $300,000, because we always come in well under the $300,000 for the overtime, because typically the guys are about an hour a day is what they work. The guys don't work till 6. If they work till 6, 7 o'clock at night, we go through the $300,000. But they start at 6 in the morning, and I don't have maybe 2, 3 guys that want to work till 4:30 in the afternoon, 5 o'clock. So we are not going to be losing any more money towards paving roads with making this adjustment. And it's going to benefit the department to get this road program, a 10-year program, in order with a gentleman that can, with his expertise, what he can do in that, and we'll get the money back. That's basically all I have on.
Anybody else have any questions? All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Talk to you later.
Yeah, give me a call. I got them bids to go over.
All right. I think we're done
For tonight.
for tonight. We don't need to adjourn or anything, right, Counselor? It was a workshop?
It's a workshop.
You should adjourn. You should adjourn.
All right, I make a motion to adjourn. All right, and legislator Allen seconded. We're adjourned.
I didn't get to second?